Alright guys, this is a video that I should have done a long time ago to basically make it a small block Ford header flange 101. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go quickly through the flanges, tell you what they're for. It's not going to cover everything, but it's going to cover the basics and even beyond the basics. So first thing we've got here, this is the header flange we use for the small block Ford 2-inch wide bolt pattern. So when I say it's a 2-inch wide bolt pattern, it is going to be, let me go get two bolts. It is going to be a measurement going from the very top center or center a bolt hole to center a bolt hole. So this would be the 2-inch small block Ford bolt pattern. Coming up to the next setup, we have the trick flow 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern going from side to side. And then we have the diagonal high port bolt pattern going up, down. So we're going to go move it up 2.5 inches going from center bolt hole to center bolt hole across the exhaust port. When we do these 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern, we only do the 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern. We do not dual drill it. Okay, up to our probably our second most popular flange behind the 2-inch stock small block Ford bolt pattern is going to be the 3-inch wide bolt pattern. This is the bolt pattern that you will see on your AFR and dart heads. But don't let that fool you. The AFR 165, AFR 185s will have the 2-inch wide bolt pattern. The big AFR 205s and 225s will have this pattern. Next one up, this is the standard high port bolt pattern. This is basically the one that we use for our high ports. So you can kind of see they're the same, but a little bit different. This is an actual trick flow high port flange here. Next coming up, we got the Edelbrock 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern. So as you already know, it is 2.5 inches wide going across the port, going from center to bolt hole to center to bolt hole. This is going to be for your Edelbrocks, but don't pay attention to that rectangular port there. We used that in the past. It is a pain to build. So our 2.5-inch is going to have a round circle. 1 3/4 is the biggest we can make for those. It makes my life simpler kind of thing. Very top up, we got the Kochs Adapter flanges. So what this is going to do, this is going to allow you to bolt this up to a 2-inch wide bolt pattern and then bolt this adapter on and then be able to bolt up a high port flange to it. So this is basically one way of allowing yourself to be able to put a bigger primary pipe on it. So with the 2-inch wide bolt pattern, we go from 1 5/8 or 1 3/4. If you want to go any bigger than that with the stock bolt pattern head, you have to go to the Kochs adapter plates and go up. Then we can go from anywhere from 1 5/8 up to 2-inch. So this is going to be it. Let me recap really quick. 2-inch wide bolt pattern, stock small block Ford heads, GT40 heads, GT40 aluminum heads, Edelbrock Performer heads, trick flow twisted wedge heads, anything that's kind of like that. Trick flow 2 3/4 inch wide bolt pattern. Basically, the only thing I know it fits are trick flow stuff. And it's going to be like your trick flow R's and your big high ports. 3-inch wide bolt pattern, you're looking at your AFR 205s and 225s, or even some of your dart heads. With the darts, you do have to do a little bit of caressing to get the spark plug clearance. Next up, we got the high port. This is going to fit your basically box stock high port ones, even some of your bigger high ports, all the way up to the 240s. Next up, we have the Edelbrock 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern. It's going to fit your, as far as I know, your Edelbrock 7721 heads. So anything that has that 2.5-inch wide bolt pattern. And then finally, we have the Kochs Adapters. We don't sell a lot of them, but they're always a good option for someone that really wants that big primary, but is stuck with the 2-inch wide bolt pattern. I find that with a lot of the Edelbrock Victor Jr. heads some guys use. Making our way over to our T3, T4, 38mm, tile 44, and our custom T6 flange. So if you have a T3 turbo, you're going to have this nice rectangular flange here. If you have a T4, it is almost square. It's kind of there, not all the way there. We have our 2.5-inch hole, our 3-inch hole, stage 2, stage 3. Edelbrock, sorry, not Edelbrock, tile 38mm, 2-bolt flange. Very, very, very common on a lot of stuff. They have moved up some of their 38mm stuff to the MVS V-band flange. Yeah, I had a pause for a second, spitting out so much information for you guys. So this is the 44mm flange. If it was a 38mm flange, it would just be a tiny bit smaller. This is the T6 flange that we make for our stuff. As you can see, we have the tab on there that we use for our turbo supports. So I hope people can really use this video to make a good flange decision whenever you place a order for stuff that we offer. So this is Jeff over at Pony Down Performance. Okay, let's go through the flanges again.